הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
We'll invite all those that are standing outside the tent to find your room, to come under the tent and to transition into Kabbalat Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Mevorach everybody. It is so beautiful to welcome Shabbat in community and to hear everybody's voices as we try to transform this summer evening of summer. It's the last day of August. It's 30 or 31st day for August?
31st, tomorrow.
So that's it. August is there, and you know what else is about to end? Like that I actually know. I don't know about August much, but I do know about the month of Av and the month of Elul that will start this Wednesday. And we are about to switch months, and we are about to enter the month that leads to the high holiest, to Tishrei, to the holiest of Tishrei, and we start preparing our hearts for this very special time of the year. So it was so nice to be in this moment, in this Erev Shabbat, together in community as we start opening our hearts toward the month of Elul. And we commence our service lighting Shabbat candles on page 120. We would like to invite Linda and Jean to lead us in the blessing.
Shir Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos. We now turn our Sidurim to page 130 as we commence walking through Mizmorei Shabbat, the Psalms that help us enter into Shabbat.
לכו נרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור ישענו, נקדמה פניו בתודה בזמירות, נריע לו, נקדמה פניו בתודה בזמירות, נריע לו. יאי די 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 די, יאי די די די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די די די, יאי די
Top of page 131.
שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בצרו מיום ליום, ישועתו, ספרו בגויים, כבודו, בכל העמים,
On page 132, Adonai malach tagel haaretz, yismechu ihim rabim. Kol saru al hatzadik, ulishrei nefsi simcha. A light is sown for the righteous, for the seekers of that righteousness, of mitzvot, of connection, a path of joy. We now turn our study to page 134 for Samru Adonai. Gesuamim, Sher Kruvim Tonad. On page 136, we will recite, we will sing the words, the verses of Psalm 29 that many communities always like to remind stand up for this psalm in Shabbat. We don't have that custom, but I think it is actually an important thing to remember that we are supposed to feel uplifted. And sometimes the work of being uplifted comes from making the decision that we want to somehow bring ourselves up. It's not something that happens to us, but something that we make happen. Page 136, Psalm 29, Mizmor David. Page 138. We come to welcome the Shabbos bride, the Hadodi, לקראת כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וסחור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונרחקים מכל הברכה מראש מקדם, נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עם מלוכה קומי צאי, מתוך החפה רב לך שמש
דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מהפרקו מלבשי בגדי תפארתך מעל יד בן ישי, בית הלך מקרבה על נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Let's try together. התעוררי כי בעורף, קומי אורי אורי אורי, שיר דברי כבוד אדוני, עלייך נעלה.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. היי ליי ליי לך דודי, היי ליי ליי היי ליי ליי היי ליי 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 ליי.
לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, את תשתוכחי ומתהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר התהילה.
היי ליי 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 היי ליי ליי לך דודי, היי ליי ליי היי ליי ליי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
וחיו לנשיסה שוצאי, ורחקו כה מברייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כמסוס חתן על כלה. יא לה לה ליי, יא לה לה ליי לך דודי, יא לה לה ליי, יא לה לה ליי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
רוצי ואת אדוני הריצי, היריש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. איי 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 לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת פעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה. תוך אמונה עם סגולה, בואי חלה
שבת המלכה.
איי 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 לך דודי, יא לה לה ליי, יא לה לה ליי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Now that we have welcome Shabbat, we will take literally 2 minutes, but important 2 minutes, to say Shabbat Shalom to each other, to welcome each other's presence. And if you recognize a face that you don't recognize, this is a great opportunity to reach out and say Good Shabbos. Shachar, take it strongly. Lots of guitar, lots of guitar. I don't like the other one. Friends, we will continue with our service on page 140. מזמור שיר, שיר ליום השבת. 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 מזמור שיר, baby seated. שיר ליום השבת. מזמור שיר, שיר ליום השבת. You're on page 144 for Chetzi Kaddish.
Israel, Bagala, Uvisman Karim. Amen. Yesh Merava Mevorav, Leolam Ulol Velamaya, Yitbarak, Yitbarak, Vishta. V'yitaseh, Yithaleh, Yithalal, Shemei Kedusha, Richu, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbekata v'nekemata, Be'alma, ve'yimeh. We'll now turn our theory to page 146 for Barhu. Please rise. On the next page, page 148, we find the blessing Mariva Ravim, which calls us to notice the evening, to notice the time changing, to acknowledge God's presence in the moments of change. In the last flip-flop Shabbats we'll have of August, a golden month, and of Av, as we prepare to enter Elul. I want to invite us all to take a few minutes, seconds. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. To notice that change before you join me in the Chatima. As we say, blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on this evening. Baruch Ata Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. We turn to page 152 for our Shema. For Ahavat Olam. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel, teaching Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, when we lie down, when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and commandments, rejoicing in Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and in doing so, lengthen our days. Never remove your love from us, and praise are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אמת, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. אמת באמונה כל סוד בקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. We will continue with the reading on page 156. Your children witness your presence, they praise your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, who is like you, O God, who has the power to help us walk through the sometimes many obstacles that we experience in our lives, knowing that there is on the other side a promised land. we ask for that redemption, and we are about to enter the month of Elul. We try to find the joy that emerges from the work of finding direction, of setting ourselves in a path, knowing that we have the strength and the power to face challenges bigger than what we have thought. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ga'al Israel. And with that sense of the joy of the redemption that we can bring to our lives, there's a nigun that we have taught a few times in years past. It's a nigun for the month of Elul. You can sing it any month, but why not to sing it actually in Elul? So I want to invite you to think about the obstacles, the places for which we might need some alignment, some direction. I want to invite you to find the energy that comes from joy, from knowing that Geulah, that redemption, is a possibility as we bring our voices together.
Eloheinu leshalom מצרים, השכיבנו אדוני, אלוהינו לשלום, להעמידנו שומרנו לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over all Yoshbei Tevel, all the peoples of the world, and over the city of Shalom, Jerusalem. May it find peace soon, and we say,
Amen.
Shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat.
לעשות את השבת ולהורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת בהי נפש, שבת בהי נפש, Remember to please turn your Siddurim to page 162 for Tfilat 64, for Tfilat Amidah, and please rise as we turn toward Jerusalem, our eternal capital. שפתי תפתח ופי יבין תהילתך אדוני, שפתי תפתח ופי יבין תהילתך.
We'll continue with Tfilat Amidah in silence. לא יודעים מנח שאתה אומר לא ולא אותנו בימותינו לעם צורך ידינו. יהיו לרצון עם רפי בהגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי בגואלי. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. And I invite you to join me in Hebrew At the bottom of page 118, let's say together, Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Israel, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel, Bimru, Amen.
At this point in the evening service, we take a moment to acknowledge those amongst us in need of healing. In need of healing from malady or infirmary, from addiction, healing both spiritual, physical, and mental. And as I move around the room, I invite you to share the name aloud of those who you may be thinking of and wish to pray for this evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Scott Van Gundy, Dave Stahl, Larry McGuan, Carol Rosenberg, Batya Peters, Sandra Goldberger, Elise Musin, Mira Engel, Victoria Spiller, Berdine Coven, Avner Ben Aharon, Sandy Corman, Francine Pack, Judy Sutton, Ellen Kashik, Bernice Paris, Brant Kotowski, Ivor Barber, Don Barnett, Alex Chapman, Sue Stein, Sherry Topper.
Wish to all of them, all of you, all of us, רפואה שלמה והחלמה מהירה, a complete recovery, and soon to experience well-being. And we say, Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. So, back in the day, and that's unfortunate, I mean a decade or so ago, yeah, some of you are laughing and some of you are like, wow, that's a long time. Well, I'm right in the middle. I used to be on dating apps, and dating apps are just a weird experience. Maybe that's your norm in the Kahal today, maybe not, but in the part of the country I was on at the time, there were a lot of pictures of people holding large fish, for example. And I admittedly was part of the weird experience for some people because I was fond of rewriting people's profiles into haikus. And there were a large contingent of people on dating apps, of young adults who were religious, and their profile would conclude with a reference. Matthew 19:21, we liked those people. Romans so-and-so. Galatians whatever. This was pretty common, and of course, I looked them all up. And a few were from the Tanakh. Micah 6:8, very popular. Lamentations 3:24 showed up once. And you get familiar with the hits after a while. And one day, I got one I didn't recognize, and I looked it up pretty excitedly, and some brilliant, clever young woman had put on her profile Exodus 22:17, which says, "Suffer not a witch to live." And to this day, I am so sad I did not match with her. I am so curious still. But I thought of her again when I read this week's Parsha, Re'eh, and I came across the line. As for that prophet, that dream magic, right? Such a one shall be put to death. And thus you will burn out evil from your midst. Next week, this sentiment is going to get even stronger. When you enter the land God is giving you, you shall not learn to imitate the abhorrent practices of these nations. Let no one be found among you who consigns a son or daughter to the fire, who is an augur, a soothsayer, a diviner, a sorcerer, one who casts spells, one who consults ghosts, one who consults familiar spirits, one who inquires of the dead. For anyone who does such things is abhorrent to you. And it is because of these things that your God is dispossessing them of the land before you. From among your own people, God will raise up for you a prophet, and that is whom you shall heed. What is it about magic that deserves such a rebuke from our biblical tradition? And then it gets obviously real complicated fast. Because anyone ever heard of the Golem of Prague? That's, I would say, fairly magical. Right? Has anyone heard of the magic of Kabbalah? It's pretty magical. Has anyone ever heard of the phrase abracadabra? Which is actually from Aramaic, avra ke dabra, which can be translated, I create as I speak, or it will be created in my own words. At some point in history, what I'm trying to get at here, or at some point between biblical Judaism and rabbinic Judaism, we Jews really rethought our relationship to magic. In the biblical times, right, magic was a almost universal phenomenon. It was in folk culture in Mesopotamia in the first millennia. There was an entire treatise called Makli about it, and there's references to it all over cuneiform, and it's all over law codes. It's in the laws of Ur-Nama, Hammurabi, the Middle Assyrian laws, the Hittite laws, Neo-Babylonian laws, the Edict of Telepinu, which I was not familiar with before this drash. So, and of course, the Bible. And so the background of these laws, when I was looking in the Women's Torah commentary, it explained that, like most of the laws in Deuteronomy, this pertains to the settlement in the Promised Land. The danger concerns the negative religious influence of the Canaanites. But modern scholars note that by the time that Deuteronomy was composed, the Canaanites were all gone. And thus the Bible uses the term Canaanite and the practices, the magic of the Canaanites, anachronistically, as a symbol for the other. And it defines what is Israelite in opposition to what it calls a Canaanite, and what is a Israelite practice, or belief, in opposition to a Canaanite religious, magic, practice, or belief. So now things take a little bit of a different shape. In the tight sort of monoculture of biblical society, the witch, the dream mage, the sorcerer, all of them represent this competing culture, this other, this foreigner, and that difference in the biblical lens is enough to make them evil. The instructions are quite clear. We do not suffer that other to live. Thus, you must burn out evil from your midst, says this week's portion. But again, it gets muddy. Fast forward 1,000 years, mentally. Suddenly, we have the rabbis, the product of a Hellenistic and then post-Hellenistic world, right? And in contrast to previously, they're in contact with the other, the foreigner. They've been exiled into wider society. They're speaking very differently about magic, right? We have somewhere in the Yerushalmi this line, none were allowed to sit in the Sanhedrin, the great rabbinic court, unless they had knowledge of magic, right? And elsewhere in the Talmud, in Sanhedrin, we have a fantastic story of Rabbi Yanai turning someone into a donkey because he's annoyed. And then we have, with the development of Kabbalah, of course, mystical, magical practices happening all over the place. And I want to point out that some references in our tradition to great magicians are not even rabbis. The great something, sage, non-rabbi, Honi Hamagel, was more magically accomplished than almost every rabbi around him. Today, and I maybe speak for myself here, but I think I speak for y'all, we discuss magic a little bit less. We haven't legislated on it in recent times. Someone can correct me. And it's not part of our vernacular, our culture. But the other is. But the way we define ourselves in relationship to the other is. And so earlier today, Rabbi Nico and I discussed the phenomenon, this change from biblical to rabbinic Judaism, and the way rabbinic Judaism has reinterpreted the commands of the Bible to better match the world we live in today, to offer more nuance, more compassion. And he gave me this incredible example of burning chametz, the same word, that biur, that we find in this week's commandment to burn out evil in our midst, is from burning chametz, is used in burning chametz. And even as we are still commanded to burn the physical item, the great spiritual work of Passover has been almost reinterpreted to become an internal process. When we prepare for Passover, take part in Passover, we burn our spiritual chametz, and we're transformed by the act. So to be clear, this biblical commandment, burn out evil from our midst, still stands. But the way we regard the other with suspicion has changed. There have always been those in the world who are other, who are queer, who are different, who have talents or ways of going through the world that may not resemble what we might think of as normal. And yet, now we have a different commandment. I believe today that this idea to burn out evil in our midst applies to malice and intent to harm. Rabbinic Judaism has given us the tools to transform our understanding of Torah, and today we can use the example of burning as an internal process. We burn out hostility. We can burn out suspicion. We can burn out the tools to judge people from within us. And in that way, I believe, we will truly burn out evil from our midst. Shabbat Shalom.
We now turn our theorem to page 586. Please rise for Aleinu Leshaveach.
The kids.
And we like to invite kids to open the ark for Aleinu Leshaveach. They sound far. They really sound very far.
Well, you could probably scrounge up a kid or
Okay,
two.
we're going to wait 30 seconds. How do we bring them? Have ideas? So parents, if you want to call your kids, we invite you. We are about to conclude the service. We're going to do Kiddush. Maybe this is a great opportunity for everybody to come in. And all those that we made you stand up a bit earlier, we are sorry. We are sorry, but we believe you can. You can hold 1 second. Here they are. Here they are. Thank you, Rabbi Michael. Great, great, great. We usually give them candy also, but I think the candy remain inside. So we're going to take care of the candy after that.
Okay, you ready?
We'll go.
You gonna open?
Ayla and Eve. What a great representation. Page 586
Okay.
with children representation.
Stay here.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית,
שלא עשנו פיקויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם
בגורלנו ככל העולם, אנחנו קוראים
ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך
מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. We're on the middle of page 590. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם באר, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו We're going to close the ark, and as we close the ark, we're going to invite everybody to be seated, and we have some candy here. And we.
Oh gosh. Listen. Okay. All right. One at a time. Oh my.
In the
Respect your elders.
good luck to Rabbi Michael. So at this point of
Can I have a second to give to Eva?
Yes, you may.
so we also invite you to stay around. We are going to say Kaddish in a minute, and then we are going to conclude our service with Kiddush and blessings for everybody.
I'm gonna give it to Eva, I promise. He's right there. I promise I'm gonna give it
We're going to go.
right there. No, not Eva. The one we're sitting on.
Good. There's a price to be paid for having children.
Is this working? Is this
Like-
working? Woo!
As I was saying, you know, so at this point of our service, while we are filled with the beauty and the presence of everybody and our children with so much life, we also take a moment to acknowledge the end of life. We take a moment to acknowledge mourners among our community. We will first read the list of yortzites, those that passed by this time of the year in years past, and then we will acknowledge those that are here in the room and the different cycles of time of mourning. So,
Abraham Pastor, Baba Copper, David Levine, Esther Siegel, Francis Levine, Fusaya Ogawa, Gary Rosenberg, Harry Lichtman, Henry Pink, Jerry Davis, Morris Wisnia, Ronald Bernard, Rosalie Berkowitz, Saul Isidore Blitz.
now, if you are during the first 7 days of mourning Shiva, please rise and share with us who you're remembering. If you are during the first 30 days of mourning Shloshim, please rise and share with us who you're remembering. If you are during the cycle of the first year of mourning, please rise and share with us who you are remembering. Rabbi? Thank you. Ethan? If you have a yortzeit this week, the anniversary of someone's passing, by this time of the year in years past, please rise and share with us who you are remembering. Say again. Thank you.
The congregation offers our condolences to Steve Stein on the death of his sister, Joanne Stein.
Now you can support our fellows while standing or sitting. Join us with your voices or your hearts. For Kaddish Avelim, Mourners Kaddish, on page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותה, וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון ובימיכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, באמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, יתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמה, באמרו אמן. יאש למה רבה מן שמיה, בחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, באמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, באמרו אמן. May the memories of your dear ones be always a blessing in your life. Yes, Zichram Baruch. You may be seated.
It's our pleasure to invite up Jack Friedman, president of the Men's Club, to share some announcements with us.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. These are the announcements for tonight, August 30th. I'm going to just highlight a few announcements, and you can find them all events on our website calendar. For the upcoming Saturday, August 31st, 9 a.m., Shabbat Cafe in the foyer of the building right behind us. At 9:30 a.m., Torah study, followed by 10:30, Benot Mitzvah of Erica Bornstein and Lulu Navala. Tuesday, September 3rd, 6 p.m., singing circle group, open to the congregation, no music reading required, just a desire to sing high holiday music. Register online, please, for more details. 7:30 p.m. on September 30th, choir rehearsal. Contact Cantor Felder Levy to get involved. On Wednesday, September 4th, 6 p.m., the Shir Hadash women, Rosh Kadosh Elu, explore how Tikkun helps rekindle the sacred light, drawing on materials from Rabbi Dahlia Marks. Please RSVP online. And a preview on Friday, September 6th at 5:30 p.m. We have the I think that's probably the last flip-flop Shabbat. Join us for the flip-flop Shabbat on the patio with casual schmoozing, wine and cheese, kids, games, and an outdoor service. Chairs and beach blankets will be provided. It's going to start getting chilly. Saturday, September 7th, 9 a.m., Shabbat Cafe in the foyer. 9:30 a.m., Torah study, followed by 10:30 Shabbat service. On Saturday, September 8th, 10 a.m., the preschool will be having an open house and party. Join us for a free neighborhood party to celebrate the grand opening of our new toddler program as we expand our play-based preschool to include children as young as 18 months. Meet local families, tour our preschool, and enjoy the bounce house, snow cones, and face painting. Please RSVP today. 12 p.m. on Saturday, September 8th, Elu Community Barbecue. Join us for our annual Elu kickoff barbecue with fun for all ages. Is that Sunday?
It's a Sunday.
Yes.
That's Sunday, September 8th. Enjoy cider tasting, shofar blowing, bounce house, and the Elu scavenger hunt, and much more. I only question that because the men's club.
Jack, you know that we have a bounce house for adults. We do, and we are keeping special times. I'm not kidding. It sounds like a joke, but I'm not joking. And we are keeping special adult times for the bounce house, so you can enjoy. It's not only for children. There's a bounce house for you. We are all children.
Just remember,
in some way or another.
He's not talking about insurance for adults that use the bounce house.
It can get sketchy, but
I know that so many announcements. I want to add one more.
Thank you, Jack.
We have worked so hard all summer to elevate to hear and to change and develop some of the programs for our kids and teens. If you are interested, registration is open. If you have any questions, you can find myself, you can find Rachel, you can find Trista, and we would be happy to tell you about all of the exciting changes we have made going into this year.
And you can always choose to read our emails, right? Like you can actually, it's also a possibility. Like you can read our emails and you get all that information that's written and it's in our website. And I felt the need to say that. And for those that would like to have another bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah or b'nai mitzvah, next week our cohort of b'nai mitzvah is starting. It's a very, very important year for us as we are finishing the shift of the ages, and we are working the cohorts in a slightly different way. And many of the kids will get something that's pretty beautiful, a passport to Jewish life, which is a new way in which we're going to be working with our B'nai Mitzvah. It's pretty exciting, and I encourage you after that, if you are not part of the B'nai Mitzvah cohort, to ask B'nai Mitzvah in the community about their passport and take a look. I think you will be delighted. We're on page 122 for Kiddush.
Vayera vayvoker yom hashishi vayehulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tziva'am vayichal Elohim b'yom hashi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot b'yom hashi'i mikol melachto asher asa ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי
And as we are standing and we have share blessings for Shabbat, we are going to share blessings with each other. We invite you to stand next to your loved ones, to your family, to your chosen family, to your friends. If you are on your own, make sure that you are not alone. Stand next. Stand next to someone. Make eye contact. Make sure that you are recognized, that you are acknowledged, and make sure that you acknowledge others. As a Shabbat is an opportunity to recognize the beauty of our creations, the beauty of the things that we bring into this world. We say to our children, may God inspire you to be like the loving parents of the house of Israel. Yasimchem Elohim כשרה רבקה רחל ולאה, בכפריים, וכמנשה. And we say to all of them, יברככם אדוני באיש מלכם. May God bless you and protect you. יאר אדוני פניו אליכם ביחונקם. May God's light shine upon you and may God be gracious to you. יישא אדוני פניו אליכם. May you find within you God's presence always. And may you have the strength to burn your internal chametz, to burn the things that are disruptive, that make noise in your life, because they are just that, noise. And part of choosing to live the lives we want to live is to decide what are the things that we want to listen to. We are bombarded, constantly bombarded by information and by noises in our world. And it is your choice, your decision, what's going to make the cut, what's going to be a part of your awareness. And may you have the peace to choose. May God instill within you that peace. Ve'asem lachem shalom. Adonai os le'amav iten. Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom. May God bless all its peoples with the blessing, with the power, with the strength to be builders, to be makers of shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Umevorach everybody. Shalom Rav al Israel amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Israel amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata
Shabbat shalom.